In today's Razorback Daily, we're recapping the Hogs' win last night over UCA. Plus, hear from Talaya Jones on the Hogs' overtime win against UCA. It's Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. I'm Quinn Grovey alongside my man Matt Zimmerman, and you're listening to the Razorback Daily.
Welcome back to the Razorback Daily. As always, thanks for joining us. What a good win for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Take care of business and beat the UCA Bears by 37 points in Bud Walton Arena. We're joined here by Razorback Karter Knox with a great game. You were on fire. You looked like you had a bounce in your step to start the game right off the bat. You hit 4 for 4 threes on that left side. Talk about how you played coming out against UCA.
Well, I came out to dominate. Last game, didn't play too good. So, this game, very big game, bounce back game. Just staying locked in after the game, not letting it affect me. So, yeah. You
went through your freshman year. You didn't have very many games that you didn't play pretty well.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the tip. You missed the first game, which I think probably hurt you a little bit because it's hard to play your first regular season game at Michigan State. It's not an excuse, but that's not an easy place to go right off the bat. And the other guys that all got to play against Southern, but we're not used to you seeing you struggle like that. What was it like for you between Saturday night and Tuesday night? Because you were great in this game. What did you do in those 3 days?
In those 3 days, I was in the gym, just in the gym, working on my craft, working on my game, just telling myself, I'm not going to allow, to have a bad game, like a horrible game like that ever again. So just keep me mentally locked in and just keep pushing myself.
I was watching you warm up. You can't tell much from warm-ups, but sometimes you can. You seemed really dialed in warm-ups, and then the team was going in the locker room at one time. Everybody's getting their last shots up, and you were kind of leaving, and then you said, and you stepped back in there to get another shot on the right side. I was watching you, and you caught it, and you drilled it, and then you hustled off the court. And I said, boy, he's got a really good bounce in his step. I think he's going to have a really good game.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about your confidence going into it. After a tough game, the confidence you had.
Well, oh, I'm sorry about that. But, the confidence, it never left me. Came in out the gate, 4 for 4 from the three. What'd I finish up with?
You ended up with 19 points and 10 rebounds.
19 and 10.
And I think you were about 5 for 6 from the three.
5 for 6 from the three. Yeah.
You missed 1 3 in the second half.
In the right corner. No, the left corner. Yeah,
left corner.
Yep.
Which you're pretty good over there.
That's my spot.
Yeah, right in front of the bench.
That's my spot. But it's all good. We just got to take more shots, get more shots of those, and keep working.
All right, I'm going to tell you something about this. We played 8 guys. 6 of our guys had 5 or more defensive rebounds. And you had 10 rebounds. And we had Coach Cal on the postgame, and he brought up the rebounding. You were a really good rebounder for us last year. Talk about the 10 boards tonight.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. First of all, it felt good getting the double-double. First ever double-double.
First one.
In my college career. First ever double-double. So it felt good getting that double-double. And, I'm just hoping to get more. That ain't gonna be the last only one.
Yeah. And some other guys played pretty well in this game as well. The 3 of you, everyone played pretty good, but between you and the 2 freshmen scored 57 points. The opponent, I think, had 55 points, 56 points. So the 3 of y'all outscored them. Talk about those 2 freshmen and what it's like playing with them.
Oh, man, they're special. I knew Leak since he was like a junior in high school. So I already knew he was special. And Darius is just, he's one of a kind. Point guard, we do everything, pass, dunk, do everything. That's you don't see too many of those.
Yeah, and sharing the ball. The team moved the ball. I think we had 17 assists in this game. The ball moved pretty good. It wasn't quite as much dribbling, and that helps you kind of get in the flow too, and that ball's getting swung to you.
Oh, yeah, when the ball, touches everybody's hands, when we shoot up a good shot, if it don't go in, all 4 crash, you get the O board, finish, bring it out.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Well, and Malik and Nick, because kind of been 3 of them down there playing a lot in those spots, and with Trevin out, those 2 played a lot, and they both like 10 points, 8 rebounds, 9 points, 8 rebounds. Big games from those guys as well. Just talk about those 2 bigs and what they provide for this team.
Oh, they provide a lot for the team. Nick is a beast on the boards. Jump out the gym. I ain't never seen those 6'11". I seen when they threw the lob and he caught it.
Came down?
He came down, his head, like, I think they had a picture, his head was above the rim. Like, it was crazy. I ain't never seen no big man jump like that. And Malik is just one of the best skilled bigs in the SEC. You know, I believe he is the best big in the SEC.
Yeah, and Malik is so skilled. He's got all these little scoops and different moves that he's can finish with, but he's also very athletic.
Oh, yeah.
And so people don't realize a little bit. But those guys, we're going to need them, obviously, as we keep going. Mm-hmm. And then you get Trevin back. You got to feel like those three bigs are as good as a lot of people have.
TB nice, man.
Yeah.
To shoot and jump, that's crazy. That's just, dang.
Yeah. Well, we're going to need him to get back, and he will. So, overall, pretty good performance against the UCA Bears, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yes, sir. Most definitely.
And also, the defense was good, and those guys went 4 of 41 from the three.
That was our goal. We knew in the scout, we knew they just chuck up shots. So, we just get a hand in their face, contest. If they will make one of them, they shooting 41 threes, so but 4 of 41, that's a great job on our end.
Last question. We're up 9 at the half. We was up 15 points in the first half. Right off the bat, 7 minutes into the game, we're up 15 points. But at halftime, we're up 9. And they'd kind of made some shots. We got cold a little bit. What was Coach Cal and the staff? What was the message like in this locker room that we're sitting in right now? What was halftime like?
Halftime was just, the shots, the closeouts, they was a little late. They were trying to come back, getting beat on the back doors. We had to tighten up on that stuff. And most importantly, the second half, we just went out there and hoop.
Yeah.
That's what we always do.
Yeah. And they scored 22 points in the second half. That's pretty good.
We did our job.
Yeah. Well, there he is, Karter Knox. Great performance. The Razorbacks beat UCA in Bud Walton Arena and improved to 2-1 on the season. Back at it against Samford on Friday night. McDonald Eye Associates has been serving Northwest Arkansas for almost 50 years. That is incredible. We have beautiful new offices in Fayetteville and Rogers to serve our patients. McDonald Eye is the leader in LASIK and cataract surgery, helping patients reduce or eliminate dependence on glasses and to see their best. At Arvest Bank, we've got loans and we've got lines of credit for almost anything. Need to improve your home, consolidate your debt, or maybe purchase a vehicle? Apply online today at arvest.com/loans. There's great Arvest banks all around the great state of Arkansas. arvest.com/loans. Equal housing lender. All loans subject to credit approval. How about it, women's basketball on Monday night, folks? It was an exciting basketball game. I was at the Coach Cal radio show, and as the game was going on early, because the game went until 8, the coach show ended at 8. We were there a little bit after that. You could see UCA was game, man. They were fighting. They were making some shots, shooting it pretty good early, and you were like, I don't think this is going to be a 100-41 game here. UCA was a little bit better than a couple of those people we've played. I give them credit. Tony Kemper, their head coach, I've known him for a long time. He is a darn good basketball team. Now, he didn't have quite the players the Razorbacks had, but he put up a heck of a battle. Quinn Grovey, the Razorbacks down 7 late. It did not look good. But if I'm UCA, I am sick to my stomach. I know Coach Kemper is sick inside, because if they'd have done 1 out of about 15 things in the last, say, 3 minutes of that game, if they'd have done 1 out of about 15 things, UCA comes into Bud Walton and gets arguably their biggest win in their Division I history. But if ifs, ands, and buts were sugar and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. And they couldn't get it done. The Razorbacks didn't give up. They fought. Didn't get the best game that they've had from Bonnie Dees. She's been great. She was okay. Didn't play as well. Talea Jones did not play as well as Talea had been playing. But Emily Robinson made a big shot. Rodriguez made a huge shot. There was a Razorback three-pointer. Quinn, looked like it was a 2. It was so close, but the officials in the replay, they couldn't confirm it was a 2. They gave the Razorbacks a huge, much-needed 3 at the end, to get it to regulation, and then the ladies roll. Quinn Grovey, good. At the end of the day, the Razorbacks don't care. The Razorbacks are 3-0, Quinn.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. I mean, you got the win, and I didn't get a chance to see any of it, so I'm just going by exactly what you talked about. Sounds like it was a tough environment. I mean, for the ladies, they were down on their home court, but they found a way to fight back. So that, to me, that shows a lot of toughness. And you better not lose a game like that. You shouldn't lose a game like that. And so they were able to come back through. And you're right. You talked about the 1 of 15 things that UCA was supposed to do, and I love that. If and buts and candied nuts and all this kind of stuff and Merry Christmas. I get all that. It's the holiday season. I love all that, but none of that took place. So
yeah,
I'm excited that the Hogs are 3-0, and you've coached on a lot of different levels. You coached in high school. You coached on the college level. You coached on the highest levels out there. It's always easier to coach after a tight win than a bad loss. And so I'm happy for Coach Music. I know she will be on them. Yeah, look, Coach, she's nice and all that, but she's tough. I mean, she's flat out tough. And so she'll be all over them. And this will be a great opportunity for them to push forward. But man, you dodge one right there. You dodge one and you push. I mean, overtime. I mean, UCA, you're right. They're going to be sick, but I can promise you.
They are miserable sick.
I can promise you, though, UCA probably expected to get blowed out. They're probably happy that they fought that hard. They're probably surprised that they had an opportunity to win the basketball game, pushing it to overtime. But something like that, a team like that, if you don't win in regulation, you ain't winning in overtime. It ain't going to happen.
Oh, no.
It ain't going to happen.
You're right. Quinn, when that one went into overtime, after what Arkansas had to overcome to get it, I was like, this one, with.
Yeah.
It game over with. UCA.
No,
if UCA can find a way to regroup from the blow they just took right to the kisser, then they deserve to win this game. But they couldn't do it in the overtime. It was too much. And the Razorbacks, when they got it to overtime, I think it was just an exhale of relief and stress getting out of their body. Like, oh, okay, now it's 0-0. And we're a little better than y'all. So we're gonna finish this up this time. We gave you a window of opportunity, and UCA did a lot right to take advantage of that. But at the end of the day, UCA couldn't get some key stops. UCA had a couple big turnovers late, and UCA couldn't make a basket when they had to make a basket to seal the game or to put it out of reach. And the Razorbacks get it done. That three-pointer on the line was also huge. I'm sure if I'm Tony Kemper, there's probably 2 or 3 calls down the stretch that he is not happy about, but that's basketball. Happens in football.
Send it into the office.
But I know there's at least 2 and maybe 3 that he is not. It's not going to change it. That's sports. That is overcoming adversity. That's the agony of defeat. When you get those kind of call or 2 against you and you lose a close game, especially one that you were leading, man, that is a swift kick in the you-know-what. And, man, that's a swift kick. But congratulations to Arkansas women's basketball. They get it done. Here's a really good sound we got right here. Tara got to sit down with Razorback guard Talia Jones.
Really a team effort, too. I mean, when you look back at that game and the way that everyone stepped up, what stands out to you?
Yeah, I think it was our grit and our toughness that we were like, yeah, we're going to figure out how to win this game. I think that's what Coach Music put us in when we were in our huddle. A lot of our other players were saying that as well. Like, we just going to have to figure out how to win this game.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. So
you guys brought it to overtime.
Yes.
That shot, by the way, from Emily, I mean, the pictures, the stills of everyone slowly standing up from the bench and freaking out. I mean, what was that moment like?
No, it's so great. I'm like, that's Emily. That's the Emily I know. Like, that's what she does. And I'm like, I'm not even surprised. Like that's my girl. And I know that she can do that. I'm just so proud of her. And she's always made for those big time shots. So
yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. You look at this schedule, there's a lot of wins in here for Arkansas. If they just play decent at all, they're going to beat most of the people on this schedule. But you got to continue to go. 15-game non-conference. You got a tough one against Texas Tech, and you got SMU. That's the only high major games out of 15. And so there's some tough games. La Tech wasn't easy. UCA wasn't easy. Overtime win. They got to play. They got to play Missouri State yet. They got to play Drake. I don't know how good Drake is, but then there's also some other games on there. When you see it, you're like, I think they'll be pretty good shape. Some of these other games are Southeastern Louisiana and Jackson State and Stephen F. UMKC.
Yeah, you need to get them. You need to get them.
You got to take care of all those. They got to play A-State yet.
Yeah. That'd be a tough one. That'd be a tough one.
Yeah. So there it is. There's Arkansas, but they handle business. They stay undefeated. Now they've beaten La Tech. They've beaten UAPB, and they've beaten UCA. They're 2-0 in state, as they should be.
Well, all right, Z and Tara, as we get ready to wrap up this edition of the Razorback Daily. Z, we got a chance yesterday to get out and about, and get out and about in honor of Dave England. I mean, Heather England wanted people to go out and help with the Fayetteville Food Pantry, and the Razorback Foundation. We went out and answered the call, and we were able to spend some time handing out food. I mean, boy, I tell you what, that is a process. That is really something very, very cool. You want to talk about helping a lot of people. I mean, the cars were just coming and coming and coming, and we were moving boxes, moving packages, moving all kinds of things. And so I'm so glad that Heather and Dave wanted us to make that happen, and we were able to get over there and just serve so many people. And boy, I tell you what, it really does your heart good when you can get out there and really make a difference like that.
Oh, it was awesome. And I'd been to that food pantry before. It had been 2 or 3 years ago, but they do so much. And one of the nice ladies there working told me, Quinn, they feed 1,200 families a week, not people, 1,200 families a week. And so impressive. It's at the old St. James Church, which St. James is still a church, but it's moved down there off of North Street and down there by, if you go down Garland and you make a right on North, right there on the left is St. James, a great church there, very well thought of. But this is their old church over by the Yvonne Richardson Center. And it was really nice. And we had a lot of our employees there, Billy Vitato, Ryan White, Will Landreth does stuff over there at that food pantry, but Don Mabry and Debbie Scoggin and Bailey Anderson and on and on. They were there, Patrick Kammerling. So many of our folks there working. And it's not to get a pat on the back, as you said. It was just a nice thing. And when Dave was sick and everyone's wanting to bring him food and wanting to give him gifts and balloons or just anything to try to help the family. And then with the passing of Dave, during that time, Heather said, with everything going on, the government has been shut down. There's people that are hurting for food. Even when the government's running, there's people hurting for food. In Fayetteville, Arkansas, folks, we got homeless too now. We got a lot of them. Yeah. And a lot of those people came through there and weren't homeless, but they needed help. And that food pantry brings like our man Richard back there in the back that actually does.
Hey, he's a dog. I mean, Richard is a dog. I mean, in a big time way. I mean, he understands it. I mean, he put us in check and put us in line really, really quickly. And man, he loves it. He lives close to the pantry. He comes down and helps every Tuesday. And Richard understands the process, and he connects with those people in a big, big way. And Richard was a guy, he would say, there's 1 bag or 2 bags or whatever. We would carry those, but he always wanted to hand out the desserts. You want
I noticed that.
You want cakes.
Desserts.
Yeah. He wanted to hand out that desserts. Your kids need cupcakes. He hand out a big old deal of cupcakes, and the ladies would go crazy. It's just like, it was really cool just to really see all of that and how it all intertwined. And so I was so excited about being a part of that. And I'll definitely go back. I mean, I'll definitely go back and help. I mean, even if we don't go back as a foundation, but that is something that is really, really cool. And I mean, I absolutely loved it. And I love doing it with the team. I mean, it was really good to see everybody out there. Our whole team was out there. making it happen. And Will Lander, give him a lot of credit for going ahead and getting all that really set up for us and allow us to come on over there and make a difference.
Yeah, you're right. And, Coach Anderson used to always say this, and we would go over to Yvonne Richardson and we do the Samaritan's feet and wash the feet. And Cal's had our guys do that since he's been here as well. He did it in Pine Bluff and in Hot Springs. But anytime you do something like that, Quinn, food pantry, Good Samaritan's feet, any charity, when you take a group and work, or even if you go by yourself, I just feel like it helps me and helps that group more than it does the people that you're serving. And that was providing food to those families in need, but it was really good for us to see that, right?
Man, it was awesome. It was awesome. And I mean, everybody was so appreciative of us to come in and help. And we had, like, before we got there were some fraternities over there helping. And
the Kappa Sigs were over there doing it too. Yeah.
I love to be able to see that. And we got over there and talked a little ball, but those young kids over there helping out like that, they're so excited about being there. And so it's really a cool thing. So if you're looking to do something during this holiday season, that is a great opportunity to go over and impact a lot of people in a big way. And they're always looking for that help. And boy, I tell you what, the ladies at the foundation, boy, they got in there. We were looking for some bags. We were looking for some crates of food. And then all of a sudden they started cranking them out on that assembly line like crazy. I mean, you can never, if you want something to happen, you put those Razorback Foundation ladies in charge and they will get things done. And so, but it's very cool. Everybody over there at the food pantry, I mean, we want to say thank you for having us out there because it was such an awesome experience. And the people that came through, they were so appreciative of it. I mean, there was a lot of thank y'all, God bless you. I mean, we weren't really doing anything, but it's the people that are making sure the food, donating that food and making sure people have an opportunity to make that happen. We were just kind of putting it in cars and stuff. But so the people who really support that organization, you got to give them a huge shout out.
Sure. That was awesome. Well, I think we're going to go back there again. So folks, there's always places for you to volunteer if you're able. And it'll make you feel good. I'm sure a lot of you volunteer. You don't need us preaching to you, but it makes you feel good. It really does.
Yeah, and Z, I know you got a birthday you want to shout out. One of our former coworkers. You want to make sure.
Speaking of the ladies at the foundation that get stuff done,
that's right.
Micah Struther, who's been in Little Rock, grew up in Mountain Home, lives with her husband in Little Rock. Now they spend a lot of time in Washington, D.C. They're involved in politics. She works at the University of Arkansas still. Husband's in the political world. She used to be a big fundraiser in the political world. Yeah, she's a great fundraiser. We miss her at the Razorback Foundation. But happy birthday, Micah Struther. Micah looks like she's about 30, Quinn, but she's a little older than that.
No doubt. You're spot on. And so, I mean, Micah is definitely a big time player. I mean, in Little Rock, in Arkansas in general. Glad she's still with the University of Arkansas and making an impact because that's what she can do. And she's with her family in D.C. So happy birthday to Micah. Well, all right, Z and Tara, that's how we'll wrap up this edition of the Razorback Daily, a sporting story production. I'm Quinn Grovey alongside my man, Matt Zimmerman, and we'll talk tomorrow.